Lawrence. And yes, this is Ask the Experts, where we bring you conversations with professionals, industry leaders, entrepreneurs, and stakeholders, helping us understand the trends, opportunities, and challenges shaping business growth in today's economy. Software development and digital innovation has become major drivers of economic transformation across the world. Yes, from financial technology and e-commerce to healthcare, agriculture, education, and transportation, software solutions are changing how businesses operate, how governments deliver services, and how citizens interact in an increasingly digital society. And yes, Nigeria emerged as one of Africa's fast-growing technology ecosystems, producing innovative startups, talented software developers, and digital entrepreneurs whose solutions are attracting global recognition. However, challenges such as inadequate infrastructure, cybersecurity risk, funding constraints, talent retention, and gap in digital education continue to affect the pace of technology advancement. And yes, today we will be discussing the future of software development and digital innovation in Nigeria. Joining us in the studio is Aaron Angama. He is the founder and CEO of Index Tech and Index Ride, an AI-powered ride-hailing platform focused on transforming urban mobility through technology, a computer science student and passionate advocate for the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs), is committed to building innovative, transparent, and accountable digital solutions that improve transportation and empower communities. With expertise in technology, product innovation, and digital strategy, Aaron is dedicated to shaping the future of smart mobility through AI-driven solutions. Good morning, Aaron Akama. It's a pleasure having you here this morning.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So how are you doing this morning, Aaron?
Yeah, I'm doing very well. I'm doing very well.
All right. So, firstly, as Nigerian digital economy continues to expand, what opportunities do you see emerging for software developers in the coming years?
Yeah, I believe this is one of the best time for like to become a software developer in Nigeria.
Okay.
Because more businesses are now going digital, and so if every industry is now going digital, so that means they're going to need a software to run and power their businesses. So I think as a software developer, we now have more opportunities to build more businesses and help sustain new businesses coming online. You can name them like healthcare industry, education, and so many other industries like agriculture, finance, and also including transportation as well. So developers are not just writing code; they are actually solving real-world problems. So as as a founder of Index Tech, a lot of people have approached me and asked me how can they use technology to grow their business and make efficient connection between their audience and all. So and that is why Index Tech came to exist, and we have been solving real-time business problems by building websites. If the business actually needs a web application whereby the user can actually purchase something and do things on their own without the need of the product owner, they're going to move to web application. But if a small startup business that just require only a website that you can do.
All right. So, as a person who is quite familiar with technology, now, how is artificial intelligence reshaping software development, and how do you think Nigeria is prepared to take advantage of technological shifts?
Yeah, well, AI is changing how developers work, and AI can now help speed up our work process. Something that is like maybe you're building a web application, you're supposed to take about a minimum of 6 months to get to your MVP. With artificial intelligence, you'll be able to speed up that process within a week. And AI can help us detect error in our code faster than us trying to do it manually. Because I remember there was one project I was working on with one of my Canadian clients. So I was trying to deploy the code on my GitHub repository so that the client can actually see what I'm actually working on. So then, there was a bulk error in my code. I have went through the lines of code like 1,000 times, but I could not detect that error. But the moment I just copy my code and paste it on the AI, and I'm like, see, this is the error I'm getting. AI quickly helped me spot that error and fix that problem within a minute. And I was able to deliver my project that same day. So artificial intelligence is one of the most transformative industry that can ever happen to a software developer and any other business in the world. So I would encourage anyone to embrace the artificial intelligence.
With the use of artificial intelligence, just like I said, we're able to come up with, a solution and also spot out the obstacle, right?
Yes.
Now, what current obstacle do you think is slowing down software innovation in Nigeria?
What?
What current obstacle do you think is slowing down software innovation in Nigeria? What obstacle?
Well, some of the obstacles that is actually slowing down the innovation. Can you come again?
What current obstacle is slowing down software innovation in Nigeria?
Okay, so some of the current obstacles that is slowing down the innovation in Nigeria, I can say is electricity, unstable electricity, because that has been a very huge challenge for me as as an entrepreneur trying to build a product, and since there's not unstable electricity, it becomes much harder for me to compete globally, and that is why we always trying to plead with government to provide stable electricity for Nigerians to be able to work.
Okay, that's good. So to you, what lesson can aspiring software developers learn from, success stories of people that are actually, startup software owners? What lesson do you think that those that are aspiring can actually learn?
Okay, I'm coming. Okay, for me, the biggest lesson that we can learn for being an aspiring software developer is to focus on solving real problem instead of chasing noise. So you focus on signal over noise.
Okay.
If you look at what Moneypoint, Flutterwave are doing, they actually focus on solving customer problem,
okay,
and that way, it inspired young generation like us. Instead of following trends, you should just focus on solving problems. So I believe if you have that aspiration to become a software developer, the first thing I would say is you should focus on solving or identifying a problem with society. Like I usually discuss with my colleague back in school. I was instead of asking me, Aaron, what should I do?
okay,
I feel you should just go through the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. I believe we have up to about 17 goals, right? So those 17 goals, just try and solve one or two on those, and then build a product or software that can help solve that problem in a long time.
And you're good to go.
Yeah, you're good to go. So that's what I feel.
Okay, so with technology, software advancement, and all of that, currently we have cybersecurity threats.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, with cybersecurity threat becoming more sophisticated, how should software developers approach security when designing modern applications?
So one thing I feel about cybersecurity, because one of my friends, his name is James Taiwo.
Okay.
So he loves cybersecurity a lot. So
Oh.
I always joke around you will be in cybersecurity while I be a software developer. So
Okay.
when I'm
So
thinking
you
my
both
software
share it.
developer, you make sure you protect
My
my
software.
Well, I have a very solid foundation in cybersecurity. So my say on this is when you are building a product,
Okay.
cybersecurity should not be an option. It should be the foundation of your software development, because you need to protect users' data. Information that needs encrypted, you have to encrypt it. WhatsApp thing has been popping up end-to-end conversation encrypted and all of that. But now it's a lot of investment if you're going to do end-to-end encrypted. But WhatsApp is lifting that up because it requires a lot of capital investment to do that. But you should not neglect the fact that user data is very, very important, and you must make sure that it aligns with government policy as well.
So how can Nigerian software developers position themselves to compete in international space?
I'm coming.
You know, for those that are into software technology, now you want to go into the international space, how do you compete? What are those skills that you need for you to be able to compete in the international space?
Well, for me, you have to build a very strong portfolio.
Okay.
Elon Musk said that don't confuse schooling with education. So, most people like Nigerians, they thought maybe having good grades in school is what's going to land you or compete with global standard. I feel like the best way to go about it is to build a very solid portfolio. You can, contribute to open source code on GitHub repository. Okay. That way, it can help like it can make you more recognized in the global online presence, and also you can't tell who is going to call you based on your open source code that you deploy on GitHub repository. So that is the best platform for you to compete globally.
That's nice. So when it comes to small and medium, how can digital innovation help small and medium-sized businesses improve efficiency and remain competitive in the markets or economy?
Okay, that's the next one. So come again.
How can digital innovation help small and medium-sized businesses improve efficiency and remain competitive in today's economy?
Okay, technology is helping businesses save time, reduce costs, and then make better decisions. Like through index tech, like I mentioned before, we believe software software should make businesses more operation and simpler. For example, a small shop using an inventory management app, to track the day-to-day activity instead of like using a notepad. It can help reduce losses and also tell the product owner which product is doing much better than the other one. So digital tools like small like cash management, accounting. Like for example, now if you visit a supermarket and you just buy something, previously we don't have all these invoice receipts. You just pay and then just walk away. But today now, small businesses can now have a cloud accounting software that can help run their businesses. At the end of the day, that particular software will give analysis of how much the company makes, and then it will be able to analyze how many products from different categories, like was sold that particular day. So instead of you to sit down and start doing all of those manually, so I believe technology is really helping business owners, and not just only these retail businesses, across other industries like healthcare. When I was in material level, I was assigned to build a telemedicine web application, whereby instead of you to go to hospital and queue for a duration of time, you have to pass through receptionists, bill payment before you see consultation. You can actually book a doctor online, and then the doctor will just come, and then you can just choose to do a video call, or you do maybe a live chat, and then explain to the doctor right? This is what is happening to me and all of that. So software is really helping, technology is really helping businesses across every industry. So yeah.
So it's not just limited to one particular part, but every industry.
Yes, it's a beneficiary of technology right now.
So for the Gen Zs, for those that want to learn or probably become somebody like you being the owner and CEO of Index Tech and
Index, right.
Okay. So now, for young people interested in software development, what technical and soft skills do you think they can actually acquire?
Well, right now, when I started 4 years ago, I started with basic technology, languages like HTML. HTML, that is a hypertext markup language. CSS, JavaScript. But with the way technology is going in this 21st century, we advise any young generation or Gen Z out there to embrace AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, cloud computing, and cybersecurity. because as more businesses is transitioning to online space, so cybersecurity is going to be very, very important. It's just like an online police, just where we have in our government, create physical police, to help regulate crime in society. Cybersecurity is very, very important. Imagine the population of people in real life, and imagine the population of software in the internet space. So if there is no cybersecurity specialist or something like that, so a lot of software will be breached, a lot of data will be tampered with. So artificial intelligence, which is number one, cybersecurity number two, cloud computing three, and then each other one again, and then you can also do mobile app development as well. Then for soft skill, it's good that you are good with communication skill, leadership, team player, and because the two actually collaborate together, because you can't embrace one and leave the other. So you have to master the two, because at some point you're going to be working with your team. So how do you lead the team if you don't have the experience? So both technical skills and soft skills are very important. They work hand in
hand. So how important is collaboration between the government, private companies, and technology hub in building a stronger software economy?
Yeah, well, the three actually work together, because you can't actually own a tech ecosystem alone.
Okay.
Because, for example, now, if you're building a product, you need government to approve, or you need some regulations based on what you're building. So I feel like government should give out policy that encourage young entrepreneurs like us to be able to bring our ideas to reality. And which other one did you mention?
The government.
The government.
Yes. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
The government, private companies.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Private companies should invest more into tech startup, because I know most private companies, really want to invest because they want to see what you are capable of doing. I have watched so many interviews online where entrepreneurs went online to their show to present their ideas. They tend to. I know they are actually considering the risk factor here, but at least they should collaborate with entrepreneurs and also invest into their tech startup as well.
Alright. So looking ahead,
what still remain one, the tech hub. So for the tech hub, they should create a training platform like an incubator to groom the young tech startup as well. Yeah, so that's what I feel. So the three actually work together. Government making good policy to enable us fulfill our dream businesses, and then private company investing and creating that environment of enablement, support to young entrepreneurs. And then the tech hub, having a platform to train the younger generation and then groom them. And Industech is actually doing that. Like every year we train about 5 to 10 students, across every
That's a big one.
Yes, so yeah, we're actually doing that.
Thank you so much for that. It's a pleasure. Take your flowers, sir. Looking ahead, sir.
Yeah.
What is your vision for Nigerian software industry, and yes, what practical steps should be taken today to achieve that future?
Okay, I'm coming. Just give me a minute.
Okay. So looking ahead, what is your vision for Nigerian software industry?
Okay, looking ahead, my vision is to see Nigeria become the world's leading software innovation hub, not just in Africa but globally. So I want to see more Nigerian companies building products that people use around the world. That is the part of the vision behind Industech. For example, Industech is a software development company. And as a software development company, you need to have a product that actually differentiates you from being a software development or from your competitors. And then, one thing I realize is that, if you truly want to, bring innovation to Nigeria, we are not expecting foreign, innovation to come to Nigeria. So, local problem understand their local challenges.
Right.
So, as a Nigerian living in Nigeria, I understand the pain point on mobility and transportation company. And then, I actually had like a bad experience in with this conventional, ride-hailing application that pushes us to, create this particular index ride. So index ride is more like a product under index tech. So the vision behind index tech is to make sure that Nigeria have their own local software, in Nigeria that can actually work across the whole industry.
So what steps should be taken to achieve this software?
Well, some of the first steps to for you to achieve is we need to improve our talent. We need to also improve on our infrastructure, encouraging innovation and support funders who are solving real problems. I feel like we don't have a real working system in Nigeria yet, because I have friends that are in abroad, so basic amenities they don't have to worry about all of those. But in Nigeria here, we still have a lot of infrastructure that still need to be put in place. Because I believe if we have a solid infrastructure, I believe Nigeria has the talent already. It's just for them to have this platform that they can unleash what they have in them.
So that's to say, for a country like Nigeria, there are not enough space for people that aspire to go into technology or to acquire the skill. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, there's enough space, but I feel government can do more based on my experience in web consulting. And I believe Nigeria's government are actually putting effort into doing that already. So one of my favorite quotes from Elon Musk said, "When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are, like even if the odds are not in your favor." This simply means that even though we don't have a working system, we should not use that as an excuse not to go beyond our environment to do what is needful, and also bring innovation back to Nigeria as well.
So what is your final take for? I know you've spoken on this before earlier on. Now, lastly, right?
Yeah.
What do you have to say to people that want to go into software or technology once again?
Okay.
Your advice?
Yeah. One thing that I would say to people that is trying to come into my space is don't just come because people are making real time money. It should be something that you are passionate about. So I'm going to give an example or maybe an illustration to help demonstrate that point. There's what we call an inner drive and there's what we call an external drive. So for example now, if Ronaldo just kick a ball, the ball is acting on an external force, right? The ball might eventually come to stop, right? So if you are, using, maybe your friends is doing tech, so you want to come into tech, whenever that your friend is not around you, that motivation just fall out of space. So if you really want to do tech, it should be something that you are passionate about, and your inner drive should help to drive to do it. So in terms of the inner drive, for example now, if someone is driving a car, for example, it's the driver inside the car that is driving that car. That external force can't stop it, except the driver mash or apply brake. So if you have self-drive, like an inner drive, you can actually do anything you want in tech. And when it comes to programming in technology, there is no limit to what you can do. So it's a very good space. It's technically challenging, but that is what human actually needs. So yeah.
So that's saying if you want to go into software, you want to learn the software skill, you want to go into the technology space, have passion for it and be ready to acquire more skills, right?
Exactly, because technology is changing every year, and you have to have this spirit of learning, adaptability. Because imagine 5 years ago we don't have artificial intelligence, but now artificial intelligence is here. We can't tell what is going to happen in the next 10 years from now.
That's true.
More AI, more products is going to come. Even something beyond this artificial intelligence can just happen. Because now the whole world is just going in one direction of AI. And I feel like at some point this AI thing can crash. Because imagine a whole, world going towards one particular industry. So it's crazy. So beyond AI, you should also think about other products, but make sure that any product you are building should be AI powered.
Okay. So how do you see this software space in the next couple of years?
I see it growing beyond what we have now. Like with the help of artificial intelligence, like I said, AI is one of the most transformative industry that can ever happen to human. And if you look at the lifespan of software development before AI come in, you can see we have achieved more than what we have had previously. So with this AI thing now, in the next 10 years from now, I see more product being launched. I see more businesses going on the online space because with AI you can do so many things.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Aaron Agama, and for sharing your valuable insights on the future of software development and digital innovation in Nigeria. Thank you so much for your time, sir. And yes, today's discussion has highlighted that the enormous opportunities that software development, artificial intelligence, digital entrepreneurship, and emerging technologies present for Nigeria economic growth and global competitiveness. It has also emphasized the importance of investing in digital skills, strengthening collaboration across the technology ecosystem, improving cybersecurity, and creating policies that encourage innovation and support homegrown solutions. If you're just joining us for the first time, you can catch highlights of this conversation and connect with us on our social media. We are at Strain FM Live across all platforms: Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, and our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Stay informed, stay ahead. I am Damilola Lawrence. Have a good day.
That is great.
It was nice having you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.
Okay.